morning at the groundbreaking for the new Alice Bemis Taylor Center for Early Education. It's honestly a little surreal to be here on this site, surrounded by so many friends, partners, community leaders, ready to break ground on something that will change lives in our community for generations. Because that's what today is about. It's not just about a building or a program, but about creating something that will ripple far beyond these walls for children, for families, and for our city. At Early Connections, we've been serving this community for 128 years. We've walked alongside families through war, recessions, challenges, and successes. Through it all, we've held fast to one simple belief: every child deserves the best possible start, and every family deserves the opportunity to thrive. But even with that deep history, today feels different. It feels bold, urgent, transformative, because Colorado Springs is growing, our workforce is expanding, and we're at a pivotal moment where access to high-quality, affordable, early education isn't just a personal family issue, it's an economic imperative. We're at a defining moment for our city, where we must demonstrate the value we place on investing in our own future. Across our community, families are eager for access to high-quality early learning to create opportunities for their children and themselves. This new Early Education Center is our commitment to our community's future in action, built to open doors for today's families while planting seeds for a brighter tomorrow. This $8 million project will expand Early Connections capacity by adding more than 70 new high-quality early education slots in downtown Colorado Springs, with 30 of those reserved for infants and toddlers, which is the most critically needed age group in early care, and house a professional development center for early educators from around Southern Colorado. And perhaps most importantly of all, it'll be a model, a replicable example of what can happen when philanthropy, innovation, and the public come together to say, our kids matter. This project was made possible by a wide range of partners, city leaders, foundations, individuals, and the bold use of the new federal New Markets Tax Credits program, which hasn't been leveraged in El Paso County in over 15 years. So while this is a celebration of a new beginning, it's also a call to keep building. Before we hear from some of the extraordinary leaders who have made this moment possible and have stood by me in Early Connections, I want to take a moment to share my deepest gratitude. Fair warning is kind of a long list. After all, it truly does take a village, so thank you in advance for bearing with me. To our city and state leadership, thank you. A special thank you to Mayor Mobolade, to Dr. Lisa Roy of the Colorado Department of Early Childhood, to Senator Hickenlooper and Senator Bennett's offices, thank you for being here today. To Colorado Representative Amy Paschal, who is here with us today, and County Commissioner Corey Applegate, thank you all for your leadership. To the advocates, partners, and friends who laid the groundwork quite literally for this day. From the earliest conversations to the first shovels in the ground, your support has been a constant force in moving this project forward. I'd like to call special attention to my friend Tom Neal, who has stood by me and our entire team championing this project. To Christine and Doug of RTA, what a wild ride with many visions, but here we are finally. And to Sam Clark, Executive Director of the Pikes Peak Real Estate Foundation, thank you for being a friend and our guide in the New Markets Tax Credits process and in coalescing local philanthropy around this project. I'll never forget the day when we met in Bailey and James' classroom and you sat down next to me and you were laying this crazy story on me, and then you said, but I think I can help you get your building paid for, and then you had my attention. And here we are. To all of our donors, your generosity turned what was once just a vision into the reality we are celebrating today. To our philanthropic champions, Pomar Foundation, with a special thanks to Thayer, Tutt, and Hybl, Norwood Foundation, thanks to Chris Jenkins, Craig Willis and Andy Doyle of the Chapman Foundation, the Anschutz Foundation, Lane Foundation, Buell Foundation, the Daniels Fund, Jerry and Pam Bruni, Bart and Kathy Holliday, along with Kelsey Nolan of the Dakota Foundation, Int Credit Union, and finally, to the people who keep us going time and time again, our current and former board of directors, our foundation board, and our extraordinary staff. You are the heartbeat of Early Connections. You are the ones who show up day after day, year after year, to dream big, solve hard problems, and fight for what's possible for children and families. You've poured your strategy, your sweat, some tears, and your whole hearts into every step of this journey. You've weathered challenges, celebrated milestones, and never once lost sight of why this matters. I especially want to honor Chuck Murphy and the late Marv Strait, whose leadership as early campaign co-chairs was the foundation of this project. To every staff member and board member, past and present, you are the reason we are standing here today. Your fingerprints are on every brick, every beam, and every future story that will unfold in this new space. Now it is my honor to introduce our mayor, Mr. Yemi Mobolade. A bold leader understands that supporting families and investing in our children is central to the growth and vitality of our city. He also happens to have a very personal connection to Early Connections Learning Centers. Mayor Mobolade, thank you for believing what's possible. We're grateful to have you here today.
Good morning, it's good to see you all. I love the spirit and energy that is present here. I get to do a lot of these, and I gotta tell you, the energy here is so contagious. So thank you for being excited about such an important project in our community. And Liz, thank you for your leadership. Appreciate the opportunity to be here and for your kind introduction. So friends, as you've heard, today's groundbreaking, this one is personal for me. My wife and I have experienced the life-shaping work of Early Connection Center. My own kids, Tumi and Zion, graduated and attended the Antlers Center for Early Connection. The love, care, and learning that they received from the Early Connection staff in their formative years laid the foundation for their confident curiosity and character. We still talk about Miss Kendra in my household and how instrumental she was in my son's life. So Miss Kendra is a very important part of my household, and she works at Early Connection Center. This foundation is one that they're still building on today, and one that I believe every child in our city deserves. This is why this new center matters deeply, because what will happen in these future walls will ripple far beyond them, shaping futures, strengthening families, and helping Colorado Springs thrive for generations to come. This is why I'm also proud of the city's $750,000 contribution from the Community Development Block Grant Program to help build this new building. Because this is more than, yes, thank you. See, this is more than a construction project. I believe it's an investment in our children and in the very future of our community. We know the reality. In Colorado Springs, there are about 47,000 children under age 5, and yet our community is short nearly 17,000 child care spots to meet the needs of today. This gap isn't just a statistic. It represents thousands of parents, often mothers, forced to make impossible choices between career and family, and between income and opportunity. It's what many are calling a child care cliff, and it impacts our workforce, our economy, and the well-being of our families. But there is hope. I am proud of how our community is rallying together to solve this problem, locking arms and taking action as represented today. As Liza said, it takes a village, and truly it takes a village to raise a child. And that is what we're witnessing in real time today. A village determined to make sure that every child has a strong start, every parent has strong support, and every family has a chance to thrive. So I do want to give a big kudos to Liz Benson, CEO of Early Connections, for being a part of this solution. To the help of our foundation, Norwood, Chapman, so many of you are here today. Thank you for believing in this vision and investing so boldly. And to Dr. Lisa Roy from the Colorado Department of Early Education, thank you for your leadership and your partnership as well. So friends, as we break ground today, make no mistake about it, we are investing in our future. Because when children flourish, our families flourish. And when families flourish, our workforce flourish. And when our workforce flourish, our city flourishes. Congratulations to every single one of you. You all made today happen. I'm so proud of you. Thank you. And friends, I still believe greater things are yet to come, and greater things are still to be done in this city, onward and upward. Thank you. is my honor to introduce the next speaker, the President and CEO of El Pomar Foundation, Hybl. Give it up for Kai.
Good morning, everyone. I am so honored to be here on behalf of El Pomar's trustees, including two who are here today, Thayer, Tutt, and Matt Carpenter, but also some of our staff who are double agents like Maureen Lawrence, who's on Early Connections board. We did hear from the mayor of the importance of this activity and the need that it's meeting. We also heard from Liz of this multi-generational impact and multi-generations actually being there for the community. El Pomar Foundation, which was founded in 1937, has come alongside Early Connections no fewer than 137 times through its grant making. And we've done that in large part because of the importance of the role that they serve, but also because of the history and legacy that our foundation has and our founders had with Early Connections. So we'll hear in a moment from our Vice Chairman and Chief Investment Officer, Thayer Tutt, about this very personal history. The mayor referenced how this place is personal to him. I believe Thayer will share some of that also. But what I will say is I want to mention that in 1897, there were reportedly 14 women who founded this organization with Alice Bemis Taylor at the head of that group. And I just want to dispel a rumor that Julie Penrose was one of those. She was an early adopter. She got here in 1900 and got involved as soon as she could, but she knew a good idea when she could see it. So if we want to get to the bottom of this history, we're going to have to talk to Thayer Tutt. So let's hear from him. Thayer Tutt.
Kyle, thanks for adjusting the microphone. Is that okay? Obviously, from El Pomar's perspective, our support began actually back in 2019 when Diane Price, we have recognized Diane Price. Diane called El Pomar and said she wanted to do a dinner to introduce the foundation community to this new campaign she was coming up for a new building. And so she asked the late Pomar Strait, Bill Hybl, chair of El Pomar at the time, and myself if we would host a dinner. And so what I'd just like to say is most of those participants at that dinner are here today, so thank you for your generosity and congratulations on seeing it all the way through. So thank you very much. The campaign is also very personal for the Tutt family. Not only did the Carl Springs Nursery Association get started by 14 women, but also it's 3 generations of Tutt women who carried on that tradition. It started with my grandmother, and she, back in the early 20s, served on the board of the Day Nursery. She also was on the board of the Boys and Girls Club, and the Tutts and the Taylors were close family friends, actually owning property out in Summit County together. But the interesting part I just heard from Diane not long ago is the big piece is that back then my grandfather owned the 2 of the 3 lots directly north of the current Day Nursery original building, and my grandmother convinced him to donate them to what would become the Boys and Girls Club building and the playground behind. So Diane, thanks for doing the homework and making me feel even more attached. After that, my mother, Louise Tutt, served on the board in the late 60s and early 70s, and because of her, I'm an alum in preschool of this place. And then, of course, I can't forget my lovely wife, Melanie, who's not only the unofficial photographer of the Day Nursery, but also a 25-year member of the Legacy Envisioned Women's Giving Society. Right, Melanie, where are you? Yes. Okay, I did it right. So, thank you for all the work. I'm just the pretty face up here. But most importantly, I want to recognize Liz Denson and her team. We've heard about what she's done, but taking on the challenge of increasing childcare capacity as well as the professional development center is incredible. But being honest, without her energy, creativity, technical knowledge, and financial acumen, I don't think we would be here today. So Liz, thank you very much for leading that. On behalf of the Tutt women, Pomar, I'm delighted to be part of this recognition, and thank you very much. And I'd like to introduce Chris Jenkins, CEO of Norwood Development Group, to make a few comments.
Good morning, everyone. What a great day. Beautiful Colorado morning, and as the mayor said, the energy in here is a bit infectious. And why not, right? What is more sacred than investing in the next generations? And it's been a journey, right, Diane? You called my dad many years ago, probably about the same time as Thayer's did, and said, hey, our building, it's got fire code problems, it's everything's wrong with it, it's time to reinvest. And we were excited to say yes. Didn't know it would take the turn of events that it did take, but it's really awesome. And I want to our nonprofit partners and leaders, I want to just really, she's getting a lot of credit and she deserves it. I'm so proud of Liz. She didn't just get into this job to take care of the next generation, which I actually think is what she thought she was doing. But she said something, new market tax credits. Lots of communities use them to invest in their communities. We haven't done one in a long time. And Liz, curious, entrepreneurial, ambitious, and purpose-driven, and willing to take courage to change. We were starting with that building down there. And another property came available and we started to talk. And that property didn't get acquired, but it was the start of something. To where we're able to invest and stretch these dollars almost by double to the number of kids that were in families that we're going to get to serve. And so this pivot to this facility, adjacent to the stadium, the museum, the Park Union neighborhood that's going to come with lots of living opportunities and other things that make a great mixed use downtown, connection to the park. It's an awesome addition for our city. And as we are on this quest to become the best city in the country, these kinds of investments in our youth, in our kids, in the next generation are the things that get us there. So I'm really grateful to be a part of this, and congratulations to you, the board, the team, and thank you to all of you who have helped invest in this.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Thank you to the Norwood Foundation, and thank you especially for being a trusted guide and friend through this process. You're right, it's been an interesting trip, but you've been a critical component of our success to getting us in all levels of this work, so thank you. Yemi, thank you for your leadership. I know you had to run, busy mayor, things to do, but the city's integral investment of the community development block grant funds, and most importantly, for trusting us to care for him and Abby's children. And to the Pomar Foundation, Kyle, thank you. Pomar was one of our earliest and most significant champions, the first to say yes and invest in this project. Pomar is not only invested in bricks and mortar, but in our mission and in their partnership, sometimes supporting my sanity, so some of the people you're talking about. They've rightfully chosen to name this center after a woman whose legacy lives on in service to our community, Alice Bemis Taylor. And a big thank you to Thayer. You and generations of your families have stood by the children and families of this organization for many years. You're a trusted partner, and I'm grateful for your support. Our next guest is a leader who embodies vision, courage, and brilliance. Please join me in welcoming to the stage my friend, President and CEO of the Colorado Springs Chamber and EDC, Johnna Kleymeyer.
What an absolute great day for our community, for our downtown, for our children in Colorado Springs. But from my perspective, for the business community. This is such an addition that is needed. probably early on in my tenure, I was asked by Diane to come over and see a vision of what was possible to add childcare slots in downtown Colorado Springs. And we visioned together, we thought big, I got excited, and then Diane said, oh, and I'm retiring next week. But thank goodness, I agree with Chris Jenkins. I have had a partner, a friend, and I thank you for your leadership, Liz, because every big idea needs strong leadership. So thank you. You know, this project truly is more about than a building. It is about investing in families and economic growth and our region's long-term success. Early childhood care and education are a cornerstone for economic vitality. When childcare is limited, our workforce is limited. Parents are often forced to leave jobs or cut hours when they can't access reliable, affordable care. This impacts businesses all across El Paso County. You know, 70 childcare slots in addition to 70 existing that this will marry from downtown is an absolute great start. There's a family-friendly initiative led by joint ventures that Liz and I are both a part of, and the mayor is a part of, and many of you. According to them, we are thousands of childcare slots short. And that means that we're short on thousands of potential workers for our community. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not just a family issue, this is a business issue. And if we want to be a top competing community of the future, we need to be sure that everyone that is able to work outside the home, that wants to work outside the home, has that opportunity. I have lots of fancy comments written down up here, but I will just say this. Many of you may not know me personally. I've been in this community now, my home, for 4 years, but I'm a mother of a 26 and 23-year-old. And I had the pleasure of trying to help grow them up for 19 years as a stepmother. It is tough. It is tough when you are trying to decide, do I go to work today? Or, oh, the childcare facility is closed because of snow, but I've still got a job. It is tough when your partner is out of town and you don't have choices. High quality childcare is so important to anyone that is trying to build a family and build a career or a life. Centers like this can make all the difference in an individual's life, in a community's life, and most importantly, in a child's life. We want to be sure we're growing the workforce of the future, and great centers like this are game changers. This center honors a 128-year legacy and builds a very strong, inclusive future for our region. I'm so appreciative to Liz Denson and, of course, her whole team for how hard they work. And I'll just say, let us hope every one of these young people grow up to be Thayer Tutt. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Johnna, for your remarkable city leadership and friendship in this effort and what we're doing with the Family Friendly Initiative. In addition to our amazing local leadership, we're deeply honored to have a representative from the Colorado Department of Early Childhood today. This department is leading the charge statewide, advancing quality, workforce development, and access to early education across Colorado. We're proud to align with the department's goals, and we're honored to have Dr. Lisa Roy here with us today.
Good morning, everyone. It's so great to see you. I send greetings from Governor Polis. I'm sure you all know he's deeply involved with the fires right now, and he's actually wanted to be here. They were trying to figure out a way to make that happen, so I come honoring the state of Colorado through Governor Polis and the Colorado Department of Early Childhood. This is so exciting to me for many reasons. First of all, when Governor Polis and our bipartisan legislature came together, what was the first thing that they did? Does anyone remember? Full day kindergarten. Yeah, that was so important. Other states had done that decades ago, and we did it locally. If you had a mill levy or bond, you could offer a full-day kindergarten, and now we have that statewide. The next thing that you did was pass a sales tax on tobacco so that we could have universal preschool. And so congratulations to you on that. What you might not know is that we went from 27th in the nation to number 3 as far as access for our children. We still have a lot to do, but that's significant. Year 1 was what I call a hot mess because we were trying to open up a new department at the same time of rolling out universal preschool. But I will tell you, our partners here in Colorado Springs have been incredible, and allowing the department to know that you have more children than any other county in the entire state and what your needs are. And you are a microcosm of the entire state. That's why that's so important. I've had the privilege of working with Diane Price for many years. I'm retiring too, Diane, in 1 year and 4 months. Who's counting? But the work here is so incredible, and I couldn't wait to come back down. And Liz's leadership has just taken it to the next level, so really appreciate being here. I'm going to tell you and end with, I can relate to the many stories that you heard. When I was a young mom of 3, I was a stay-at-home mom actually, and my ex-husband was struggling financially to take care of a family of 5. Anyone can relate to that at all? Some of you. So my brother-in-law at the time was in med school and said, you need to go back to work and help out. And I looked at the cost of childcare, and guess what? 3 kids, I would have only made enough money to pay for childcare at that point. I hadn't finished college at that point. My ex-husband had done his master's and had played CU football, all of that, but you know, I wasn't the cheerleader type. I had to work. I'm not putting cheerleaders down. So let me say that. Not putting cheerleaders down at all. But I did have to help support my family. He could not do it on his own. And that's what a lot of our middle class families are going through. They can't afford to live in Colorado without 2 salaries. And so I was supported by United Way. My children went to Mile High Early Learning, similar to the kind of program you're building here. And I had a small amount of money that helped me meet the gap until I could afford to pay for it myself. And so everything that you're doing here in Colorado Springs makes a difference. It ties into our goals of making Colorado the best place to raise a family. And you want Colorado Springs to be the best place to raise a family as a city. That is an alignment. Our alignment around high quality early care and education, making sure that we have access, that there's more slots, that the competencies are there, all of that is important. So we look forward to a continued partnership. And thank you so much for having me here today.
While I really appreciate all the accolades and love and everything, I really want to ensure that everyone is well aware that this is a huge team effort, not just in the walls and the staff of Early Connections or our board, but this entire community. I mean, we have over 100 people here for our groundbreaking, who everyone has really deeply invested in seeing this project come to fruition, and I'm so incredibly grateful for that, and can't take all the credit by any means. Thank you to each of our speakers and to every single person here who has helped us get to this moment. What you've heard today is more than the story of the building. It's the story of our community that believes in children, believes in equity and access, and believes in building not just for today, but for generations to come. To our donors and partners, your impact will echo in the lives of families who walk through these doors for decades. Our future is bright, and there's so much more ahead. And now, we have some very special guests from our Antlers location, children whose laughter will fill these walls come early spring, here to help us mark this monumental milestone. I'd like to invite all of our speakers and children to come up here and help us break ground, because let's be honest, they're the real experts at digging in the dirt. Enjoy the rest of your day. Please stick around. Thank you all so much.
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna let this moment linger a bit. Yeah. We want you guys. I'm gonna get all the sneakers right here. Sorry. Miss Stacy and you can have an adult size. This is why we're here. This is why we're here. So much better. No, they want you guys are great. That is amazing. It's really sweet. Like, it's organized chaos. Please, I still want you right here.